Hey guys, hope you're able to see me. This is Ganesh here, and welcome you all to this YouTube live. So this is the first time I'm going on YouTube live, and I'm so happy to have to be connected with all of you through this WoW uh, initiative. They have doing a good job in helping people to overcome their challenges. So I'm just going to wait for a minute and then start my session by 5 sharp. I, who wants to join in, let them join in. If you're there live and you're joining in by now, feel free to ask your questions. And we now the questions and the emotional and some of them are. Feel free to join in and ask your questions. I'm more than happy to be answering your questions, whatever you might have. So quickly, let me go through today's format, and I invite you and then go through this. So my name is Ganesh Kumar. If you're seeing me for the first time, I am an emotional intelligence trainer and coach. I am known as Emotional Alchemist. I'm author of the book The Power of Emotions, and I've been in the training space for the last 8 years. 8 வருஷமா இந்த training field இருக்கேன். இந்த 8 வருஷத்துல கடைசி 4.5 வருஷம் இந்த எமோஷனல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் இந்த ஸ்பேஸ்ல தான் நிறைய டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்றேன் நான். அதில் ஸ்பெஷலைஸ் பண்றேன். ஐ பீன் டூயிங் அ லாட் ஆஃப் ஒர்க் ஷாப் அண்ட் ட்ரைனிங்ஸ் ஃபார் வேரியஸ் கார்பரேட்ஸ் அண்ட் பப்ளிக் in this particular program. Right? Whoever has joined in live, I would love to know you. I would just request you to just type in. There's a live chat option which is there. Use that. Send in your comments. Let me see them. You can say a hi. You can say a good evening. Whatever you feel like. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to type in and chat and say something. Right. Hope you guys are able to see my message out there. Right. So this is who I am, and I have been working in the space of emotions. I help people to work on getting better with their emotions. So in the my job is basically to see how I can help more and more people to become more aware of their emotions. The biggest challenge that we have today in today's world is people are more and more disconnected with their own emotions. Their ability to handle their emotions are a huge challenge. So that is what I do most of the times. So I go to various corporates and colleges and public workshops and helping them to do this, right? So this particular seminar or the session that I'm doing is an initiative by WOW Mind and Behavior Clinic. They are the ones who had asked me to do an expert talk on EQ that can transform your career, right? So any questions that you might have on how you can transform your career, I would do that. They've already done an initiative. They've asked a lot of people questions. There are questions that has come. I'm going to be taking those questions one by one. But if you have any questions on live today, also, I would be more than happy to take those questions as well. Right. So, what does WOW do? Let me do a small introduction of WOW. They are a mind and behavior clinic with its a team of doctors and mental health experts that serve a variety of segments. They include individuals, corporates, and educational institutions. Some of the services provided for corporates are mental health care, leadership training, individual coaching, workforce counseling, conflict management, and so on. So if you have any requirements on that space, please feel free to get in touch with them through this channel or through their Facebook, or probably I'll be sharing their numbers as well at the end of today's session. So this is what WOW does. And so today's topic is basically about how you can use EQ at workplace, right? And how it can help you transform your career to the next level. Let's understand this. EQ is something that not only at your personal and professional, it is something that is every day in every part of our life. Right from the time you're born till the time of death, one thing that constantly travels with all of us is emotions, isn't it? Right from the time you're born till the time you are dead, something that travels along with us throughout is emotions. Now, the challenges our ability to understand emotions, connect with emotions, and utilize these emotions. We are not doing it much. We are ignoring that part. நிறைய நேரத்துல காமெடி மாதிரி சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. If you go to various companies and you ask these emotions, they're like, emotions, I am from the sales department, right? The HR பார்க்கணும்னா நீங்க take right and first left, that's where the HR sits. So usually in many companies, in many corporates, they think that emotions is done by the HR team and the L&D team, whereas in everyday life as human beings, we are going through immense amount of emotions. So there is a study which shows that on a day we go through somewhere around 70,000 thoughts, and each of these thoughts that we go through, right, 70,000 thoughts has a feeling associated with it. Every single time there a thought that comes to us has got a feeling connected associated with it, just that we are not aware of it. Now, why do we need to become aware of it, and what is the benefit of becoming aware of it? The more and more we are able to connect to it, become aware of it, our ability to handle life becomes that, right? So if you look at another example, right, we keep running after so many things. We want to achieve so many goals, we want to achieve so many targets, and we are constantly running after X, Y, Z as a goal. But what comes at the end of achieving all these goals? What is that we achieve at the end of achieving all those goals? Is, if you look at, it's not the money that really makes us happy, it's not the house that makes us happy, it's not the people that makes us happy. What ultimately makes us happy is the emotional state or the emotions that we get at the end of achieving that particular goal, isn't it? Any goal நீங்க எடுத்துக்கோங்க வாழ்க்கையில. இப்போ ஒரு வீடு கட்டணும்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. There are different people who come through, and the reasons why they do it is different. For one person, the reason why he wants to buy a house, he feels very proud at the end of achieving that goal. Another person will feel very secured when he buys a house. Another person feels very confident when he buys that house. Another person might feel that I have achieved something really, really big by buying this particular house. So each of us go after purchasing this house because we have a particular emotion which is attached at the behind of it, and that is why we think we need to go ahead and do this. If you understand that this emotion is what I really want in my life, and this is the reason why am I doing whatever I'm doing, then would you wait till achieving that goal? Let's say for you to buy that house and get full ownership of that house, if you go to a home loan, it might take 20 years, isn't it? Now, would you wait for 20 years to become part of that home, or would you start celebrating and enjoying from day one? Would you start feeling the same emotions that you need to feel right now, or you would wait for 20 years to feel secured, confident, um, proud, whatever it is, right? So these emotions play a very vital role in our lives to help us to understand much better of what is that we are going after. Every human being has got a base emotion, a core emotion deep down inside, which is what is driving us, which is what is pushing us to achieve whatever we want in our lives. By becoming more clear of the ulterior core emotions that drive us, our ability to perform in life really, really improves a lot. Because if you notice, we have belief system, right, which is the core behind which we do any action. Now, every action, every decision, every movement that we do is based or aligned with the belief system that we have. Now, based on the beliefs is what your thoughts are, right? If you believe on something, your thoughts are aligned to the belief which is there. Your feelings are again associated with the thoughts. ஸோ நீங்க என்ன பிலீஃப் வச்சிருக்கீங்களோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி தான் உங்களுடைய தாட்ஸ் இருக்க போகுது. உங்க தாட்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கோ அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் உங்களுடைய ஃபீலிங்ஸ் இருக்க போகுது. உங்க ஃபீலிங்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கோ அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் உங்க ஆக்ஷன் இருக்க போகுது. இப்போ if you feel very, very strong and positive and powerful, then your actions will be different. When you feel very weak and demotivated, disappointed, then your actions are going to be completely different. So your feelings influence your actions a lot, isn't it? Now, based on how well you take actions, you produce results in your life. This is how the entire life works, right? Now, இப்போ இதில் எது வேணாலும் நம்ம மாற்றலாம். You can change your belief, you can change your thoughts, you can change your feelings, you can change your action. Most of the times, either people are trying to change the result. That's where they're not able to get whatever they want. It could be anything. It could be a promotion that you want. It could be a career progress that you want. It could be an incentive that you're achieving, or do your job much better. Whatever is the target that you have in mind, most of the times we're trying to influence the end result. Whereas what you actually need to influence is your beliefs or your thoughts or your feelings, so that you are able to take the right action that will lead to the right result. Now, now you can change any one of this, but the easiest one I would say is to work on your feelings. Because if you work on your feelings, both sides are getting benefited. Your ability to do a powerful action is also based on working on your feelings. Your ability to change your thoughts is also possible when you're working on your feelings. So my friends, if you want to achieve right results in your life, if you want to feel productive, happy, you might achieve so many materialistic things, you might have so many people around you, you might have a lot of money in your life. End of the day, all these doesn't matter if you're feeling sad and demotivated, alone, depressed, sad inside, isn't it? So anything and everything that you do is has an influence, is based on the emotion that you go through. If your emotions are strong, if your emotions are powerful, then your ability to produce and your ability to make a better result for yourself and others will be really, really powerful, right? Is there a way for you guys to chat with me? Can you let me know in the chat box? Can you send some comments? And then let's see, yeah, go there and send in your Dropbox, send in your comments, so that I will also know that you guys are there. I can see many of you are connected with me, and you've given me a thumbs up as well. But if you can let me know, yeah, Manoj Prabhakar, hi, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for that, Manoj. Yeah, others can also use the chat box, please, and then type in. And then, yeah, Ananthi Karthik, welcome, welcome. Yes, good, guys. That's the way I love to do sessions. Otherwise, it feels like I'm alone and doing this session. Go ahead, type in the chat box. Let me know that you are there, so that I know who's there, right? I can't even see who's there. When you type in your name, when you say hi, I can see your names. So go ahead and then do that, guys. Welcome, Gopinath. Thank you. So, guys, thank you so much. All of you who are there, type in, message me, interact with me, ask a lot of questions so that we can make the session really, really powerful. Hi, Uma Mageshwari. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. So, today's session, so we're going to see how we can work on these emotions and how we can make these emotions work for us, not only at a professional level or also at a personal level, right? When it comes to emotions, I wouldn't differentiate as professional and personal, because emotions are there in both sides of the world, right? If you get affected professionally, you also get affected personally. There's no difference between personal and professional. So when we are able to work on our emotions and then able to produce and change the actions that we do, then we are able to get the results that we want. Now, if you understand what is the core emotion that is driving you, then every result that you can produce in your life completely changes, my dear friends. So that is the journey that we can go through. It's a long journey. It starts with 4 quadrants in emotional intelligence, right? So some of you who have just getting introduced to the concept of emotional intelligence, there are basically 4 aspects that we talk about. First is self-awareness. So what is self-awareness? Bringing awareness to your own emotions. Believe me, my friends, the biggest challenge that we have today is people are not connected to their own emotions. The connection inside is lost, right? Their ability, it's happening inside. You're going through so many number of feelings and emotions in a day, but connectivity to the emotions and feelings is completely gone. And that is where the biggest challenge which people have, right? Welcome, Arun. Now, the first and foremost step is to bring that connection back so that you know what's happening inside of you. When you don't even know what's happening inside of you, how can you change it, manage it, shift it, control it? None of it is possible. The first step in emotional intelligence is bringing awareness to your own emotions so that your ability to handle them becomes much better. First step. The second step in emotional intelligence is to bring awareness to other people's emotions, the people around us, right? It could be a family, it could be a boss, it could be a colleague. You bring connectivity to the people around you, so and bring awareness to them, right? If it's is it possible for me to connect with thousands of people? I've done trainings where thousands of people are sitting there. If I use my mind to connect with each one of them, it becomes completely impossible. But when I use my emotions, my ability to connect with them can be happen like this in an instant, in a second, right? The moment you guys typed in yes, I am there, you see there's a shift, right? The connectivity, when you use your emotions, your ability to connect with people becomes much more stronger. The third part in emotional intelligence is managing emotions, where we know a lot of things, but we're not applying it. Can you all type in the chat box? Knowing is not doing. Can you type in for that for me? Knowing is not doing. Yes. So what is that? We know a lot of things, but we don't apply it in our lives, isn't it? We know a lot of things, but we don't apply it in our lives, and that becomes a big challenge. We know that we should not eat food which is not healthy. We know we should exercise every single day. We know we need to meditate every day, but many a times we don't do it, right? When we are not following those practices, that becomes a big difficult task for each one of us. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you. So one of the tasks that we need to do in managing our emotions is how do we apply what we know, right? And that is what is managing emotions. We go very deep into concepts like stress management, etc. The ones that we know that we should not get angry, but how do you put it to practice? And that's what we practice in this, right? Kritika, thank you so much. Gopinath, thank you so much, right? So we will be working on that in this managing emotions. And the fourth and final quadrant in emotional intelligence is managing our relationship with others. As I said, the best way and the powerful way to connect with other human beings is using emotions. If you use your emotions really well, your ability to connect with people and produce results is amazing. So this is what emotional intelligence in a crux is: self-awareness of your own emotions, others' awareness of other people's emotions, managing oneself, right? And the last part is managing our relationships. So this is what, in a crux, emotional intelligence is. Now, I'll take you through some of the questions that has come for me, and I would invite you, right, all those people who are live right now, I invite you to ask a lot of questions with respect to your professional, and then I'll see how I can answer to each and every question. Now itself, if you have a question with respect to emotions, feel free to type in right now. I'll be answering them. Parallelly, I will take the questions which already has come in as well, right? Feel free, any questions, throw them. Let me answer them for you today, right? So the first question that I have already is how EQ can help shape your career, right? Uh, I believe human beings are a box of emotions. Every single day, day in and day out, what we are working with is actually people, isn't it? Even though systems are there and other things are there, we are actually working with human beings. And the way to connect with human beings is only through emotions. So if you want career progress, if you want to progress to the next level in your career, the only way is directly proportional to your ability to handle people. If you don't have the ability to handle people, you can't grow in your career, correct? So if you want to do that, then the only way to do that is to connect with people much more deeper and stronger, and that can happen when you are using your emotions in the right way. Now, understand, at any given point of time, people are going through their own challenges. Even during this COVID, we have so many people where their fears are high, their insecurities are very high, self-doubt is high, fear of future is very, very strong, right? What emotions are you guys going through during this COVID? Can you type in the chat box? What emotions are you going through during this COVID? What is the one dominant emotion that you have been having, positive or negative? That's okay. Let me know in the chat box. What is one dominant emotion that you are going through during this COVID? So the way to work on this, my dear friends, is this. So when we are able to work on this dominant emotion and resolve them, then our ability to perform our job becomes much better, isn't it? Let's say I have fear all the time and I'm going through fear from morning till evening, then it is going to affect my work. It is going to make a big challenge for me to not focus on the work. It is always going to take me away from the game and not be able to produce the results that I want, isn't it? So what we're going to do is work on these emotions which is driving us, right? Yeah, Arun says insecurity, right? So when these emotions are there, our ability to perform a task, is it at 100%? Absolutely not, right? We're struggling to perform a task. So what we do is, when we work on these emotions, it gives us the ability to perform much better at our job. So same way that you are going through a lot of emotions, your personal challenges, because of which your emotions are impacted and affected, your colleagues are going through emotions. Your boss is going through emotions, right? Now, if you know how to handle emotion, then you'll be able to handle your boss very well. Now, I had a boss in my career who was insecure most of the times, who's insecure most of the times. Now, most of the times, my teammates, my colleagues, didn't know how to handle him. They found him always shouting at them. So what they did is they went back and started feeding in more and more fear to him without awareness. When he asked them a question, these guys will. So let's say my boss is asking a question of fear and insecurity. Now, when he throws out that fear and insecurity, these guys, their fear and insecurity rises up, and they end up feeding more fear and insecurity. So the boss says, "How much will you do this month?" And this guy, instead of giving an answer which will make him comfortable. They give up answers which really makes the boss go even more deeper in his fear and insecurity, and therefore he starts shouting and the things gets out of control. Now, when I understood this very early in my career, my ability to handle my boss became much better. So every single time I noticed that he is going into fear or insecurity, I started to handle him with a lot of ease and comfort. I became the go-to person for him, because if he has something which makes him uncomfortable, he approaches me. I make his job much more easier. Are you able to understand? So your boss goes through emotions and feelings, your team goes through, your colleagues go through, so your clients go through a lot of emotions. If you're able to understand these emotions, what people are going through, then your ability to handle them and handle and get the results that you want, whether it's your client or your colleague, your ability becomes much more better. So 100%, yeah, EQ plays a very, very vital role in shaping your career. If you know to handle your emotions and other people's emotions, your performance will be on the top. You will be able to create so much amount of results for yourself and also for the people around you, right? Yeah, Kritika Mulinath, how do you handle a person who isn't emotionally compatible with you? Let's say a person who someone has difficulty expressing, communicating what they feel. How do you amicably handle a disagreement, right? Kritika, it's a journey, right? I always ask this question, right? The question that I ask people is, look at these people and then ask this question: is this relationship important to me? The question that you need to ask is this relationship important to me? If you feel that the relationship is important, then if you spend time, effort, and energy, right? Time, effort, and energy, any relationship can be handled and made better. Now, if you think the relationship is not important to you, forget it, leave it. There's no point in investing in that. But if you feel the relationship is important, when you spend time, effort, and energy, then you can do that. Again, you need a couple of things, right? You need knowledge. You need to know how to handle it, right? So, when you understand, again, as I said, the basics of understanding your emotions and where this person is coming from, what is the reason, what is the emotion, what is the intention from where he's coming from, then your ability to handle that person becomes much more better. And then you need to skill, right? Skill is something that when you do it again and again, it becomes better. So when you keep communicating with this person in different modalities, then your ability to handle a person becomes better. And third is the attitude of what is the intention that you have, or what is the mindset that you have. Are you going there to resolve this and get into a better relationship? Or are you going with the attitude that this person doesn't understand, he is not going to be supportive, or he always keeps shouting? So depending on what is the intention that you have, your ability to produce results will immensely change, right? Hope that answers you. Keep asking questions, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, so what happens is, the next questions that they had is, how can I come back from setbacks? There are a lot of setbacks that I have in life, and how can EQ help me to come from all the setbacks and failures that I have in my life, right? That's the next question that I had. Basically, understand this, guys. Any setback, there are two things that we take, right? One is we tend to take a lot of emotions from that experience, correct? Whenever a setback or any experience that we go through, we take emotions from that. A lot of emotions come there. We put it inside of us, right? The second thing is actually something that we miss is there is a lot of learning from that experience. Every setback that you have, there is a learning, there is an emotion. What we generally tend to do is we take the emotion and we let go of the learning, right? When you let go of the learning, what happens repeatedly? Similar incidences keep happening to you, but we don't understand, right, until it becomes really big. The similar instances keep happening to you. So what we need to do is, when you have a setback in life, you need to take the learning and let go of the emotion from that particular experience. Now, when you do that, when you release these emotions, is how you can overcome that. Because whatever emotions that you keep feeding in and you keep storing, that is what you become. I keep constantly keep on adding fear and fear and fear. I will keep on attracting more and more fear instances into my life, and that is what becomes my life. So you need to be conscious of what is the situations and energy and emotions that you are attracting into your life. So whenever a setback happens, there is an emotion that goes inside, whatever it is. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. I'm not worthy. I am useless. I'm good for nothing. Whatever is it, the emotion that comes, I wanted to focus on releasing that emotion but take the learning and see what you can do to prove and become better the next time, right? So when you're caught up in that particular emotion, you will not be able to see the learning at all, right? So setbacks, when it comes, emotional intelligence is intelligently releasing these emotions and looking at the learning. Number one. Number two, if you are caught up in the setback, you will not be able to increase your productivity, right? Your productivity goes down, your ability to work goes down, ability to channelize your energy in the right task goes down, all of it goes for a toss. So when the way to do it is, I'm going to conceptually explain, but you have to go through workshops and then practice it as part of your life. So conceptually, how do you do it? You need to first accept it. Whatever is the setback that you had in your life, you need to accept it and say, this is what the reality is, right? When you accept it, and then when you face it, right, face the reality, face the, many of us are running away from the reality. So you need to secondly face the reality, and third part of it is release that emotion. So accept it, face it, and release it, right? So three steps. So when you do this particular process, your ability to handle the setback becomes much more stronger. But most of the time, people don't accept it. They're running away 30 years, 40 years. They're running away from it. So you will not be able to overcome that. Secondly, they don't face it. Whenever a similar situation comes, they are again running away from that. You will not be able to overcome that. And the third and most important is to release these emotions. So hope this makes it very clear. You have to face it, you have to accept and process it, and then you have to release it. Therefore, you will be able to come back out of setbacks that we have in our lives. Yeah, and Chitla, she has, how do you deal with backstabbing, right? Um, Again, I would look at this, right? Again, ask this question whether this relationship is important or not important. If this relationship is important for you, now I want to look at what is that partly I have also been responsible for. What is that I have done? Why is this happening to me? Why did this person choose to act in this particular manner with me, right? Understand this. It's not about going and doing something different for others. It's about you, your life, your emotions, and how you are going to go through life, right? Now, one way is going after them and trying to take a revenge or do something that really makes them feel very painful. The other way around is to see, why is this situation or this person I attracted into my life? What is the emotion that deep down I carry in myself? Because understand this, there is the conscious mind, the subconscious, and the unconscious mind. Whatever we tend to carry in our unconscious, and at a very deep down level, we tend to attract similar situations and people into our life. So, Anand, I wanted to understand, why did this happen to you, right? I don't want to go into a why, and then kill yourself. That's not the reason. I want to look at what is that emotion or feeling that you are going through, right? What is the emotion or feeling that you are going through, which allowed this particular situation to come into your life? And from that experience that has happened to you, what is one learning that you can take, right? If you can answer me, that will be great. From that experience of backstabbing that has happened to you in your life, whoever the person is, what is one learning that you can take from that? If you can understand that and get that one answer, what is one learning, if at all I can take from that? What is that learning? That is what I would ask you to focus on, because that will help you to move forward rather than getting stuck, rather than not allowing you to take the decisions and move forward in life, right? So as I said, leave the emotion, look at what is the learning from that, take that particular learning, and then see how you can progress. And you need to go on a journey of letting go of these people. What happens is, unconsciously we tend to hold the energy of all these people with us. Their emotions are stuck inside of us, and we are carrying these people all through our life, losing your ability to live your life. Instead of focusing on us, we tend to start focusing on those people, and seeing what is happening in their life and how are they living a good life or not, and then we are losing ourselves, isn't it? So it's very important for us to look at the learning, Ananta, in that particular situation, and secondly, focus on releasing these people. We call it as part of healing, right? There's a lot of healing that we need to do. So one of the things I would ask you to do is work on your healing that part of you which has got hurt in that particular process. Next question. Yeah, guys, go ahead, keep asking questions. Any question that you have, I'm more than happy to answer them. If you, even from the answers that I'm giving you, if you have any questions, please ask them. Feel free to do that. Question that's very easy for me to answer. A person says, I'm a technical specialist. Why should I get oriented about EQ? I think from the answers that I've already given you, I said it's whether you're technical, non-technical, right? As long as you are a human being, right? No doubt that you need to work on your emotions and you need to expand them. Only then you will be able to achieve the results that you want in your life. You've already answered that question. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have, right? Next one is how to improve your EQ. How to improve your EQ, right? Let me just 1 minute. What are the various steps that we can do to improve your EQ? Again, let me answer that and come to the next question from Rohan. So there are many ways to improve your EQ. All of it starts with awareness. The easiest way to start working on your emotions is awareness. Awareness of what are the emotions that you're going through at any given point of time, right? Now, said which, there are so many emotions that you go throughout the whole day. Is it possible for you to be clear of every single emotion? Not possible. Is it possible for you to be aware of emotions from morning till night? Not possible. So then there are two things that you can become aware of. Aware of emotions which repeatedly come in your life. Why are these emotions repeatedly again and again? It could be anger, frustration, agitation. Leave the positive ones, right? They are not creating any pain for you, so let go of them. So if, let's say, an anger or frustration or fear, agitation, depression, any emotion that is repeatedly coming into your life, I would ask you to focus on that and see, why is this coming to me again and again? What is that this emotion is trying to tell me, right? It's important for you to focus on that. So by bringing awareness to the repeated emotions which keep coming back into your life, you will be able to improve your emotional quotient. Second is consciously working on your emotions, right? So let's say you are about to start a big project, you're going to get into work, right? Today, everybody is working from home. So just before you start your work, let's say there's something that happened, a fight happened, or your children are not disturbing you, not allowing you to get into work. What is the emotional state that you're using before you get into work? That's very, very important, right? So you do a little bit of change state. What is change state? Taking a break, going for a walk, drinking a little bit of water, doing all of that, and then coming back to work will help you to consciously produce better results. So the first part is increasing your emotional awareness is focusing on your emotions, and once the incidences which keep repeating. Second is focusing on important incidences in your life, and observing people, right? The close ones in your life. Observe what are the emotions that they are going through at any given point of time. By just observing, you will be able to see and improve your emotional quotient by a huge extent. Hope that answers that particular question. Next one is Rohan. How to let go of people and be emotionally self-satisfied. So, little more detail required, Rohan, on that. So, when you say how to let go of people, whom are you wanting to let go? Right? Let go of people is like too wide, too broad, isn't it? So, if depending on the person, the answer varies again. How to let go of people and be emotionally self-satisfied, right? Actually, Rohan, it is not them who is causing that, isn't it? It is not them who is putting the hook. You are the one who is putting the hook onto them. Any person, okay, when you say people in general, it's not about they are putting a hook. You are going and putting a hook for yourself against these people. You are the one who's cross-checking your life. You are the one who's connecting you and that person, and then constantly evaluating your happiness, your success, your satisfaction, your fulfillment based on what these people are giving back to you, right? In a way, we call it as approval seeking behavior, right? Where we are seeking approval from these people, from the situations, and then saying based on their approval we are trying to evaluate and run our own life, right? So the way to do that is to stop seeking approval. So it again depends, right? If you are the first child, the second child, each of it has a different metrics. So maybe we are brought up in a space where other people around us, their approval of us, their approval of our actions means so much in our lives. And then what we're trying to do is always try to please them, make them happy, make them feel good, make them. But at the end of the day, you're doing so much for others, and you have lost that connection with yourself. You have lost why you're doing what you're doing. And after a point of time doing it repeatedly, initially it feels good because all these people are appreciating you for the actions that you're taking. After a point of time, like, what am I doing? Where am I? Why am I doing these actions? All of this becomes a big challenge, right? So the way to move forward is one, define who these people are. Why do you need to be bothered about people in general? Right? Let go of them. Focus on you, focus on your family, focus on the most important people in your life rather than focusing on everybody else. Number one. So be conscious, right? It because you can't really make an impact, be good, be nice, and every action of yours will not be liked by everybody out there, right? It's not possible. Not everyone will like this interview. Some of them will love it, some of them will hate it. That's how it is. Now if I'm trying to please every single person on this, I would not be, I will be never be able to do that, and I will kill myself in the process of doing that, isn't it? So first define certain people and limit to that. Secondly, limit yourself seeking approval from these people. You are the one who's supposed to approve your actions. You are the one who's supposed to acknowledge your work, right? You don't need anybody else to approve. So start acknowledging and appreciating your own work, whatever it is. It could be a small tiny task that you do, right? Appreciate yourself, acknowledge yourself, and slowly get out of this process of seeking approval. I used to do it a lot. When I started this training 8 years back, after every training I would wait for the feedback, and I would go through every single feedback form, and I was evaluating myself by the feedback what people were giving to me. And even just one person giving a 4 out of 5, all would have given 5 out of 5, one person would have given 4 out of 5, I will feel so bad. Oh my god, I've not done the right job, I'm not good enough, right? And I will feel so bad instead of feeling good about 19 odd people who have given 5 out of 5. But slowly, when I started working on myself, working on my self love, working on appreciating myself, acknowledging myself, right? It changed. And when this change happened inside of me, my ability to produce results immensely changed. Today, when I go and stand in front of people, when I have not approved other people, and I started approving myself, the way I deliver my sessions have become immensely powerful because I look at my acknowledgement. Because if I start looking at other people's acknowledgement, ability to give a response, I will always be thinking, should I say this, not say this? Should I do this activity, not do this activity? I've stopped that. I just look at my approval, right? So my answer to you, Rohan, is right. Don't look at approval from everyone. Number one, start maybe specifying couple of people. Yes, all of us need love, right? So specify certain specific people and start looking at love from them. And thirdly, any task that you do, look at what is your intention and operate from that space. I hope that answers to you, Rogan. Let me know. Um, Thank you. Yes. So next question. My manager is always reactive, not only with me but all others. How do I deal with them? Yeah. So again, Arun, I would say understand where is the intention. What is the intention? This again is connected to another question, right? Yeah, my coworker is always shouting at me. How do I respond, right? How do I react? My boss is always shouting at me. So the way you need to handle this particular situation is understand the intention from where they are operating. Are they operating to hurt you? Are they operating from their own insecurities and failures? Now, if you understand the core emotion from which they are operating, then it becomes so easy to handle them. As I gave this example a little bit before, right? When I understood my always it looked like my one of the most difficult bosses to handle, and he always used to shout at people, and everybody feared working under him. But when I understood he is doing all of this, he's shouting because he's at fear, he's insecure. Then after I started to give him a lot of comfort, I became his best employees. I getting it? I became his best support system. So see, not only your boss, anybody for that matter, look at what is the space are they coming from? What is the emotion that is triggering them? If you understand the emotion and then you give that, take care of that. So let's say he is operating from fear. How do you handle it? You ensure that he has no fear, right? You give him answers that will make him comfortable, fear and insecurity. Now, if he's operating from a space of, let's say, insecurity that I am not good enough, right? Then you keep telling him again and again, how good is he? Tell him that, boss, you're the best. Because of working under you, I learned so much. Thank you so much for being part of my life. You mean a lot to me. So when he says such things, he feels very comfortable, right? So look at what is emotion, right? Arun, can you take a guess? What is emotion do you think your manager is coming from? Take a guess, right? if you can answer that, right, and then you will get an answer of how to handle this person, how to ensure that you will be able to handle it, right? Yeah, take a guess around and let me know. So if you know the emotion, then your ability to handle this person becomes really, really powerful, right? So that's the way you handle them. Guys, any other questions that you might have, feel free, ask them. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you, Rohan. Appreciate that. Send a lot of likes, guys. Send a lot of likes for the video, right? And share it to your friends as well. I have a couple of more questions. I'm going to be keep answering them. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. How do I de-stress after a bad day at work? Right? I would ask you to have a list of things that you can do. Right? What is that you love to do? I would always ask you to have a list of things that you love to do and do them. For example, it could be your favorite food, right? I understand every day having, let's say if your favorite food is biryani, you can't have it every day night. I'm just saying it's going to be a combination of various things. If it could be cooking, it could be eating your favorite food. It could be just taking good bath. It could be listening to music. It could be just going for a walk, right? It could be chatting, calling up your favorite friend and having a word with them. Look at tasks which will make you feel really, really good and start doing them. So you need to identify the task which will make you really powerful, which will make give you a lot of energy, and do that. For example, for me, one of the tasks which I really love, especially before training programs, I do, right, is watch stand-up comedy. There are certain people who I really, really love, and every time I feel low, I feel dejected, or I need to pep myself up, I want to build the energy. That's how I do it. I just switch on this stand-up comedy and I start laughing and laughing and laughing. It's actually, you know what? It's weird. I have one stand-up comedy which I really love, and I've watched it so many number of times. I can say the lines. I can say the lines before he says that. That's how much it's ingrained inside of me. But to me, that particular stand-up comedy it's wired as positivity, is wired as humor, is wired as feeling and connecting with myself much more deeper. So whenever I watch that particular stand-up comedy, it revives my energy and it gets me into a different state, right? So if you're stressed and you're coming back home, how do you come out of it? Then the best way I would say is do anything, one thing, right? Choose one of the tasks that I mentioned and see what you can do. And a little bit of physical movement makes a lot of impact to your emotions. Emotions shift when there is a shift in your movement. So find things that you can do to do a lot of shift. I understand now it's a little bit challenging, but go to your terrace, right? Play some games with your children. That will help you to change. So to choose a task which connects to you. It doesn't matter what you do. It's about the connectivity. It could be just having a sip of coffee, making yourself a good cup of coffee and sipping that and enjoying that for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Even that could be that. So it's about your choice of how do you do that, right? Hope that answers that particular question. If you have any questions connected to whatever I'm saying, please feel free to ask them so that I can answer for you. I have another 10 minutes. How do I recover from failure? Right? Somebody asked, how do I recover from failure? It's action, right? The way to come out of failure is action. People are stuck in the same place. People are stuck with emotions, with challenges that they caught up very, very young age, right? It's very thought provoking when you can understand that some of us are caught up in our childhood, and still we are doing a lot of actions and work which what the child inside of us got caught up in a particular emotion. Now, the way to come out of it is, are you first consciously taking actions to move out of it? Are you doing things without even awareness? Everyday work that you do, every task that you do, the way you connect with people around you, or are you doing all of this consciously? Are you doing it without awareness at all? Check yourself, right? So the way to overcome failure is first I would look at the situation, as I said earlier in the meeting, look at what is the emotion and what is the learning from that experience. Take the learning and look at what is the core emotion that you're going through inside and come up with action plans. And no matter how you feel, go and do a change state, right? Early morning, prep yourself, do a lot of physical exercise, do a little bit of meditation, and start taking actions. Now, it's not about how many actions you take, it is about the intensity of the actions that you do. By taking strong, powerful actions, you will be able to produce beautiful results in your life, guys. Failure is a stepping stone of success. We have heard that. Without failures in life, life becomes very boring, right? Now, when you fail and you look at what is the learning that is there, and you change your actions, then you will be able to produce a better result. Now, that result is the result that you might want, which is great, or it might be the result that you do not want, which you again look at and then see what is the learning from this, and then you move forward. The entire life, guys, is like that, isn't it? There's nothing called failure in life, right? Every experience, every exposure that you go through is there's something that is there for you to learn and experience and feel, and you have to go through that. So take powerful actions. The moment you stop taking actions, that is a failure. The moment you are not able to do a task, that is failure. Apart from that, there's no failure in life. You might get the results that you want immediately. You might get the results that you want a little late, like 1 month or 2 months or sometimes 10 years. Yeah, certain actions, certain dreams, certain goals in our life require us to give so much. It's an exchange of energy that we need to give out. And that's what that particular dream or goal demands out of our life. But it's also the journey, isn't it? Who do you become in the process of achieving this goal in our lives, right? So how do you overcome failures? Be aware of the emotions, become aware of the actions and learnings, and then keep taking action till you get the results that you want. Yeah, pretty much have covered a question that I have. If you have any other questions, I would love to answer them. If you, I would just wait for you to ask any questions that you might have. Otherwise, I would just wind up today's session, guys. How did you find the session? Let me know in the chat box. Whoever is there live right now, how did you find the session? Did you find one thing worth applying in your life? What is one thing that you learned from this particular session? If you can let me know in the chat box, it will be great. And use the chat box there and let me know what is one thing that you love, that you liked, or if you found something really good. Thank you so much, Ananta. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kritika. Thank you so much. Clear and informative. If you have any questions, also feel free to ask them. If you have any comments about the session, let me know. Right? You can connect with me, guys, on my Facebook page, Ganesh Kumar SEQ. Feel free to do so. If you have any questions, again, you can connect with me to be part of my workshops or programs. Ganesh Kumar SEQ. I have a page in Facebook, Ganesh Kumar S. Feel free to connect with me there. And stay tuned to watch more and more sessions from WoW, and they're going to be doing a lot more videos on various topics. If you have any query, you can reach them on 9940221212. Let me repeat that: 9940221212. And you can also write them at wowmniclinic@gmail.com. Right, write to them. Thank you so much, Huma Mangeshwari. Thank you for you. Thank you guys for being on live and being part of the session. I was happy to come alive and then share this, and all those people who are seeing this and after recorded session as well. Thank you so much for seeing this video. Hope this adds a lot of value to you. Um Thank you. Yeah, we will connect to you very soon. I love you all. Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Kritika.